From the latter half of the Universal Century, over 70 years after a 1-year war and some time after Zeon has dissipated, this new mobile suit would bring back the legendary name Gundam as a symbol of hope against a new rising empire. One of the first of its kind to be equipped with a newly developed propulsion system called a Minovsky drive, which would show as Wings of Light. Hello and welcome. My name is O Mechanicum, or Mech, and today let's talk about the LM314 V21 V2 Gundam. First, a thank you to Gunpla UK for sponsoring this video. More on them at the end. During the early parts of the Sansukuru War, the independent militia, Ligue Militaire, launched its Victory project during UC-0153 and was able to mass-produce the first LM312V04 Victory Gundam and the non-transforming and mass-produced LM111E02 Gun EZ. Unfortunately, due to the militia lacking military strength, it would have to request cooperation from lunar corporations, which would secretly help develop the Victory 2 Gundam, a successor mobile suit to the already mass-produced Victory Gundam, developed with the involvement of Maya Megaru, mother of the Victory Gundam pilot Uso Irwin, only 2 Victory Gundam known to be produced during the latter half of the Sansukuru War. This fortune would strike again with one of the 2 V2 core fighters being destroyed in combat against the Sansukuru Empire's Adrastea class battleship fleet when attempting to take off from the moon. The remaining V2 core fighter was given over to Uso Irwin, by then Ligue Militaire's ace pilot. Uso would go on to outsmart and defeat many Sansukuru opponents, utilising the V2 Gundam's superior speed, performance, and the near-limitless power of the Minovsky drive system. At the end of the Sansukuru War, Uso and his friends would hide both the Victory Gundam and the V2 Gundam near their home of Casarelia. As the V2 Gundam was developed from the original Victory Gundam, it shared a few similar design aspects and weapon systems, such as the core block system. Just like the legendary RX-782 Gundam, the mobile suit consisted of a core fighter, known as a V2 core fighter, an upper body known as V2 top limb or hanger, and a lower body known as V2 lower limb or boots. However, unlike the original Gundam, both the Victory Gundam and the V2 Gundam core fighters could also dock with either the hanger or boots to form a V2 top fighter or V2 bottom fighter. The most unique system of a V2 Gundam was the Minovsky drive system, a first of its kind to be used in a mobile suit and derived from the Victory Gundam Minovsky flight system. Where the Minovsky flight system allowed a mobile suit to hover in Earth atmosphere, it still required thrusters to provide any momentum in a given direction. However, the Minovsky drive system not only used Minovsky particles to hover in atmosphere, it could also use them as thrust, thus giving the V2 unparalleled performance and speed, and only needing small thrusters to help with maneuvering. The Minovsky drive system also acted as an inertia mitigation device, protecting the pilot from effects of extreme acceleration. 2 other qualities of the new drive system that were utilised were its offensive and defensive capabilities. The drive would produce high-energy exhaust plumes, which would manifest as a pair of giant wings, later nicknamed as Wings of Light. With these wings, the V2 Gundam could use them as giant beam sabers or alternatively giant beam shields, the strength of which was powerful enough to block the beam cannon of a ZMT S-29S Zanuck. Most of the other weapon systems that the V2 Gundam used were identical to the Victory Gundam. Like most Gundam, the V2 Gundam had a pair of head-mounted 60mm Vulcan cannons, which were mainly used to intercept incoming projectiles or destroy mobile suit sensors and light armoured vehicles. It was fielded with a beam rifle for medium-range engagement. This fired concentrated megaparticles that can damage and destroy most mobile suits that weren't treated with an anti-beam coating. The beam rifle's engine pack is located in the stock of a rifle, and the beam rifle parts could also be ejected to reveal a beam pistol. Utilising a large beam bazooka similar to the Gun EZ, which uses the same technology as a beam rifle, but at a much larger scale, producing more power. Also developed for the V2 Gundam was the Mega Beam Rifle, developed from a beam smart gun used by the V-Gundam. It had twice the power but the same weight and handling. It would mainly be utilised by the V2 Assault Gundam. The V2 Gundam had 4 beam sabers stored in its forearm storage rack compartments. These were small devices which would project high-energy Minovsky particles in the shape of a blade, using an eye field, and were powered by a rechargeable energy capacitor. Using the same eye field technology for the beam sabers, the V2 could produce a plane of Minovsky particles, known as a beam shield, to block incoming attacks. The V2 had one on each forearm and could also be used while in the V2 top fighter configuration. A mega beam shield was also developed. This could produce a battleship-sized beam shield and could be released in a V shape. This too would also be utilised by the V2 Assault Gundam. In the front skirts of the V2 Gundam were stored mini laser mines. These could be deployed as a trap and when shot would produce a high intense light blinding enemies. The V2 Gundam also had two different armament setups that it could utilise. The first being the LM314 V23 Victory 2 Buster Gundam. This gave the V2 Gundam several heavy weapons, a shoulder mounted mega beam cannon and beam spray pod, and included 6 micro missile launcher pods. And the second being that of the LM314 V24 Victory 2 Assault Gundam, which also granted the V2 additional armour and weapons to improve its close combat capabilities. However, the additional armour would reduce its manoeuvrability. As both of these armament setups do not overlap, the V2 Gundam could utilise both setups and create the LM314 V23/24 Victory 2 Assault Buster Gundam. This increases the offensive power and defensive capabilities, however, it also increases the Gundam's overall mass. Thank you all for listening to me ramble on about the Victory 2 Gundam. I know it's a bit of a jump from the early UC mobile suits to a late UC mobile suit. Hopefully you are more for wiser about this less popular Gundam. If you did like this video, then slash the like button with a beam saber, and if you would like to see more video essays or Gunpla reviews, then blast that subscribe button with a beam rifle. And don't forget to drop a comment like a colony about what you like about the V2 Gundam or what mobile suit you would like to learn about next. Before I go, don't forget about our sponsor Gunpla UK, who has a large array of Gunpla and other snap build kits, plus all the tools and paints you want to help you on that hobby journey. And use my code OMechanicum10% to get 10% off your order. And remember, knowledge is power. Bye now.